Oi oi, here we go again. Gonna do a lap of Mules Park, pop along to see Rufus and pick up something from the chemist. The job's a good one. Lovely. Now unfortunately there's been some changes on YouTube of the adverts that you're going to see on my videos. What used to happen was YouTube would tell me it was going to play, say, 6 or 8 adverts and whereabouts they were going to be placed in the video. Then I could go along and delete half of them, so you got half the adverts. Well, guess what? That's not going to be happening anymore. I'm not able to see where they're putting them. See, YouTube has decided, its infinite wisdom, that it's going to be different for everyone, dependent on how many videos you watch, what device you're watching on, etc, etc. So I'll no longer have control over that. So if you do see more ads, there's nothing I can do. Anyway, that's that. Let's get on to the positive stuff. Well, we didn't get over to Dawlish this week, did we? Did Dawlish Warren yesterday instead. Well, they're digging up the lawn now properly. Here we are, a couple of pictures of that. The hole has started in earnest. And here's some lovely shots of the cygnets. And yes, they've certainly grown, haven't they? They have certainly grown. So just a quick lap today. Not going to make too much of a meal of it. That's the daffodil bank from the top. There's a few there, but nothing like in previous years. And of course we are now officially in spring. Yesterday was the 20th. And that was the spring equinox. Lovely. And fingers crossed, if I haven't mentioned it already, I may meet a pug in a pushchair later on, as today is their last day of the 3 weeks they've been down here. 2 weeks they've spent in Teignmouth and 1 week in Dawlish, and they tell me that they spent most of the week in Dawlish actually back in Teignmouth. Blackbird, hello. There's the best behaved doggo in the world. Someone said sit a long time ago, and he has indeed sat. Hello mate. Good boy. Got to give you a pat, haven't we? Got to give you a pat. See, everyone does there. They see the different colour on his head. Pat, pat, pat. Lovely. Good boy. We'll just pop up to the orchard. We're up this way. Here we are at the orchard with the trees cropped down somewhat, but some lovely daffodils at the base of pretty much every tree, which look absolutely delightful. Smashing. And here we go, top of Mules Park, the Eastcliff area, with the old Beacon School, and of course the one and only dog dip, one of Teignmouth's tourist attractions. Lovely. And down onto the back of the walled garden, where we'll head down into the dell, which is of course the water features. That's where all the granera was growing. Still some there obviously, but very small. And what was for almost a year an empty patch of ground with one aloe vera plant in the centre now has bushes, even trees planted. Lovely. I'll get a shot of that from further down. There we are, nice wide angle lens shot. That's lovely. I wondered if they were going to plant that out, and they have. Excellent. Fishies are hiding in the centre there, if you can make out any little bits of orange. Still very much in a dormant state, I believe, because of the temperatures. Understandable. I often say it, but it's like coming to some sort of tropical jungle or the Jurassic Park when you come down here. You really wouldn't think this was in Teignmouth, quite as tropical as it is. And of course what you can't get on the video is all the smells of the plants. Very, very different to anything you smell elsewhere. And of course I do have the wind blocker on today, that's a necessity for elsewhere, but hopefully you can still pick up a little bit of the water that's trickling past. There's that natural archway we talk about. It's got some white blossom on, and we'll come up here later on in the year. That'll be completely red, and we won't be able to walk underneath here without banging our heads. Crazy. I've got a feeling there's been a change in that bridge, and that the area down there is being opened up for exploration. So we'll have to look at that next time we're up here. Yes, I can make out a few pathways that have been established, and it's been cut back considerably. Well, you can see just there where they've piled up the stuff they've cut away. But yes, looks like that is going to be part of the adventure on the paths. It's lovely. Up there's our bank of daffodils. Again, it's not too bad. Certainly some daffodils up there, but nothing to how it was when it was in lockdown. Remember coming up here then, and you couldn't move for them. Lockdown, eh? That was a long time ago, wasn't it? Just glad that's all over. Who remembers queuing like a couple of metres apart? That was a nightmare, wasn't it? Here's some shots from Linda of Asda in Newton Abbot. There we go, that's during the outbreak, where everyone had to stand X far apart. Well, thanks for that, Linda. And glad it's over. And with that, we arrive back at the entrance and exit of Mules Park to go down over Norman's Bridge. Lovely. And we do indeed have a few little tiny spits of the old liquid sunshine coming into play. Hopefully it'll hold off from going full on flood mode while I get up to feed Rufus. Quick spot of observation first though, as I'm walking past, be rude not to. 5x zoom. There's the pier. If you want to check out my other people's playlists on the channel, I've added another couple of videos that show quite a bit of the pier in its heyday. Well, before they got rid of the rides at the end anyway. Other people's videos on the main page of playlists. There we are, no one really queuing up and no one outside. How strange. And just the briefest of glimpses along to reveal Spray Point, Rufus. And there we go. Oh, let's crack on. Well, I did plan to do one of those double Tucks postcards here, but I've forgotten to send it to myself. So I'll do it from memory. Here we go. If my memory is correct, you're looking at the view we were looking at in real life now. And one on the beach. Smashing. And of course, again, if I've got my memory correct, we've got a back to this one. So here we go, it's the back. Hopefully you can read that. Lovely. Those posts there. Been there all my lifetime. The little dividing fence along the top of the pillbox. Entrance is around the other side, it's all bricked up now, boarded up. But when you went in, there were two rooms. There was one at the front here with the holes, which of course are now all filled in, like there. And a little corridor going through. And there's another one at the back there, which someone had built like bunk beds out of wood. So if people wanted to stay in there. That would have been in the late 80s. And it got boarded up, bricked up around the 90s, I think. Anyway, Seawall, and it's a windy one again, as you can tell. He snuck up on me. What a naughty train. No one going to be able to hear if he makes a toot, I'm afraid. But there we go, first proper train of the day. Lovely. Hello. You didn't get to sneak up, did you? No. Morning. Whee! Just thinking, we haven't seen our blue and green one recently, have we? I'd assume that means that the blue part has gone off to be repainted. Might be proved wrong though. It's happened before. May pop up in a minute. Fingers crossed. I see a little bit of splashy up the other side of Spray Point. So we just take a peep up there before we go over and feed Rufus. We've got some nice little daffodil growth up here at Spray Point. Lovely. Not quite got the same bluebells as we had the year before. Never mind though, I'll have to remember to show you my back garden by the concord trees. Got a load of primroses, I think little yellow things come up. All on their own. Lovely. Well, it's not quite as splashy as I thought it was. Or as the bits I saw when I was walking up towards it. But splashy nonetheless. All good. So that's the state of the sea on this fine morning. Friday today. Pizza later. Lovely. Here we are, Rufus Land up ahead. And a few little shadows. Oh, it's one of the brown ones. People tell me what they are in the comments every single time, and I can never remember off the top of my head as I'm stood here. Right, well, no sign of any Rufuses, but I'll put some food out anyway. No, still no sign of Rufus. And when I was tipping all that out, and my phone was in its little holder there where I sit in that crook of the tree, a train did go by, a nice long one. It was very, very happy, lovely toot, but I just couldn't get to it. Anyway, there we go, no sign of Rufus, but the little brown ones, I can never remember their name when I'm here, are flitting around. Lovely. And I head back now with the wind behind me, which would be much more pleasant. Excellent. There we go, that was the seawall. Will we find a pug in a pushchair on our last home stretch? Possibly up ahead, not sure. I spy with my little eye a pug in a pushchair. Ideal. There we are, a pug on wheels. I said I'd bring you a pug on wheels before the time was done. Hello, Frank. You got your wheels? Yeah? Lovely. Your little poorly legs, eh? Oh, bless. You're such a good pug with wheels. I'll have to change your name now, won't I? Have to change your name. And of course, must forget Bert. Hello, Bert. Treat. Oh, lovely. Oh, there we are. He'll be popping wheelies all along the seawall. Marvellous. Oh, there we go. One last shot of Frank on his wheels. Until next time. Lovely. And bye-bye, Bert, too. There we go. It's a lovely chat. Lovely to see them again. And there goes Frank on his wheels. I told you I'd bring you everything on this channel, didn't I? Lovely. And they are hoping to move down here. They've made their final decision now. They've said they're going back to where they live to do some final stuff to the house. Then their house is going on the market. They've thought about renting it out. They're not going to rent it out. They want to get rid and get down to Timoth. And who can blame them? Why not? So, just going to head down to the Well Chemist and pick up my grocery-sized bag of drugs for all my ailments and collect them. because they're ready for me. Mum was saying to me the other day, so that she never seems to see anyone in my videos sat outside Dicey's. I said, well, Mum, you're normally seeing it about 11 o'clock in the morning, so it's not surprising. And she said, oh yeah, that makes sense. And I was talking to Andy yesterday. He said, came down the other day, couldn't move people out there, absolutely heaving. It's full inside as well, we didn't go in. In other words, whatever they're doing in there is working, so that's good to know. All taking place while I'm oblivious to it, and I'm not even in the town. Cantonese house where I had my lovely curry from the other night, a couple of nights ago, and Triangle over there where I'll be going later on tonight to Grills to pick up my pizza and wedges. Lovely. Plenty of people over there waiting for the bus, which is just arriving. There we go, all aboard. Lovely. Right, let's get into, well, Chemist. Job's a good one. And there we go. Hope you enjoyed our little wander this morning. Off in the other direction tomorrow, Polly steps away. All good. Lovely to see Pug in a Pushchair. Very nice, all the pug on wheels. Excellent. Anyway, take care. See you then. Bye.